Welcome back. I'm Tom at TJPtoo Solutions. In today's video, we're going to be installing a TJPtoo Solutions Modified brake pedal. The Modified brake pedal has features that offer a redesigned motion ratio and hind joint conversion. The redesigned motion ratio was mainly put in place to apply more pressure at the master cylinder while maintaining the same foot pressure. More pressure at the master cylinder should equal out to more pressure at the caliper squeezing on your brakes. Then the hind joint conversion is just for longevity purposes only. Plus it's a stout little unit. So let's get into that video right now. Okay, here we are at the driver's front of a YXZ1000. This one, the Patriot, Bob Hodgkinson's car, we're going to be using as our installation guinea pig. So, like all TJPtoo Solutions pedal assemblies, you will have to gain access to the front foot control area and, more importantly, the upper foot control area. So to do that, you're going to have to remove a splash shield and then an upper panel. The splash shield has 4 bolts, the 10mm heads. Behind it is the other upper foot control cover that has 5 bolts, 2 from the inside in the footwell area, and then 2 pins you're going to want to remove from the upper rubber isolator to the cover itself. Once you get that all done, the cover will come away. Okay, with all the bolts and pins removed, you reach back, grab this cover, pull down, and it'll come out. Set it aside. Now it exposes the brake pedal assembly. There are 2 more things we need to do, and that's A, remove the bolt and spring on the pedal, and then we need to go on the inside, remove a couple more pins, and back off the 2 12mm bolts attaching the master cylinder to the pedal sub-assembly. We're doing that to allow the master cylinder to push back so we can get the push rod out. We have to modify that, unfortunately. Due to the space constraints, I had to shorten that rod just a teeny bit to get everything to fit in there with the hind joint. So let's go on to the inside of the driver's area and I'll show you where we have to put the 12mm deep socket and long extension to get those bolts. Let's get it done. Okay, here we are in the Patriot's car, Bob Hodgkinson's. You're going to remove from the center console area and your strut assembly 1, 2, and 3 down here. This has already been popped over for the throttle body, for the throttle modification, throttle cable and pedal. But behind this panel, way back there, is a 12mm headed bolt. I'm trying to get it to where you can see the bolt. There's one. Man, this is horrible. There's one right there. And then just above it, over here, way back there, there it is. I got the light to shine on it once. There it is. It's very hard to see in this aspect. Yeah, there it is. Way back in the back there. So you're going to want to back him off and back this other one off. Right down there. Gosh. Right there. So back that one off and the one behind it. And then get after the 14mm bolt right there, and then the nut is on the other side there. And you can remove the pedal and the push rod assembly in one. That's what you're after. Toss your pedal assembly aside, send it to me, I'll take it, or you throw it in the trash. But you want to retain the push rod, because we're going to do some modifications to that to get it to go into the Heim. Okay, we have the old brake pedal out. We're now ready to install the TJPtoo Solutions brake pedal assembly. But first, we need to remove this rod from the old brake assembly and need to trim the back end of this down where the threads are, so we can get the threaded end to fit all the way inside the Heim, no threads showing. Then you're going to use red Loctite. The red Loctite gets applied last when you finally screw that thing in for the last time. You're going to need to quickly install the brake pedal with the rod into the master cylinder. Go around, tighten up the master cylinder so you set that quickly. Then come back and tighten down the bolts here. You may need a pair of channel locks or some needle nose to thread this rod back out before the Loctite cures. And the idea is to reset this rod into the master cylinder assembly. And then when you come down to your foot pedal, proper adjustment to the master cylinder with this rod is about a 1/16 inch of movement here. That will ensure that this rod is fully pulled back and there's a teeny bit of space between the master cylinder and the push rod itself. Let's get it changed over and get the rod cleaned up. Okay, we're here after the shaft trimming. You're gonna have to remove about two or three, just depending on how they cut the shaft. You're gonna have to remove 2 or 3 full threads to get your shaft to look like this. You want it to bury all the way into the Heim with no threads exposed at all. Okay, once you got it just like this, on the final assembly, and after the Heim joint's installed and tightened down with some Loctite on the bolt, and the collar lubed and put back through the pedal, apply a couple drops to the shaft and run it in. And then quickly put the pedal up, put your bolt through, tighten the 2 bolts on the master cylinder, come back and tighten the bolt that holds the pedal, and then quickly do your adjustment and get your free play on the pedal. So that way when the Loctite cures, you're all set and you don't ever have to deal with it again. All right, so let's get this installed. Okay, here we are. We're going to install the pedal and Heim assembly with the shafts pulled all the way in. So now, come in here, place the shaft up first into the master cylinder pocket, and then lift up and align the bolt holes. Now remember, you got to be kind of quick at this because you have Loctite on the shaft. Now, I'm going to go and do a cutaway, or excuse me, time lapse, and get this all tightened up real quick. Okay, pedals in, tightened, and adjusted. There's a teeny bit of free play. I think things are going to be all right. From this point, if you're not doing any other installs, put the cover back on, put the whole thing back together, put all your pop pins back in, and off you go. Thanks for joining us. Select subscribe if you want to see more videos from TJPtoo. Don't forget to like and comment if you got anything you want to see. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, everybody.